All right, damn right, let's fucking go. This is the FGH live stream. Don't go anywhere before you do if this is not your jam, if you're not into betting football, if you don't like football at all, I guarantee you know somebody who does. So before you click off of this, share it, maybe tag somebody that you know that likes to bet on football. Maybe they're not as good at betting on football as they think they are, and you can help them out. So what we are is we're a football handicapping service. We have radio show, we have podcasts, we have live streams, and we help people work their way through the football season. No last second bets, trying to figure out who to put the money on. We do all the work for you here at FGH. So again, if it's not your jam, share it to someone that you know that either bets on football or just simply loves football. Either way, because they might get a kick out of what we do here at FGH. We've got the scroll on the bottom of the screen that you can see. Anywhere you can connect with us. It's YouTube, Truth Social, Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok. We're all over the place. And, of course, our audio podcasts are on everything, too. iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spotify. We're literally everywhere. FGH is anywhere and everywhere that you can be. So tonight we're just going to shoot the shit. It's a, off-season football live stream. So if anybody wants to jump in, talk about anything football, you got a favorite team you want to talk about their offseason, complain about their offseason, boast about their offseason, whatever you want to do, you can jump in. You can request to come in on the comments side of the thing, and I will send you an invite through your email, and we'll work that out and pod you in live. If you want to yell at me, say you don't know shit about football, that's fine. At least put your fucking face on the camera and let's do it together, okay? I have thick skin. If you want to call me an idiot, call me an idiot, but at least do it live on the screen. So other than that, we've got some videos that we can pop on. I wanted to start with a video on at ESPN that I can pod in. Actually, I think I already have it pulled up here. Let me see if this will go ahead and go when I hit it. Well, it's on. I got to go back over here and let's do play. Let's see what these yahoos over here at ESPN are yapping about.
Others in the football world, frankly, are waiting for a decision from Aaron Rodgers. Right now, Pittsburgh's quarterback room consists of Skylar Thompson.
He ain't coming. Rodgers does not want to work. That's the
Mason
problem.
Rudolph. And time is ticking. Mandatory minicamp starts in 3 weeks. So when
he wants to come to minicamp.
On Aaron Rodgers? Well, let's bring in NFL insider Jeremy Fowler and NFL analyst Tim Hasselbeck now. And Jeremy, I'm going to start with you. What is the latest surrounding Aaron Rodgers and whether or not he's even going to play football this upcoming season?
Well, Shay, people I've checked with say the Steelers remain optimistic here. They have been in touch with Aaron Rodgers, but that there's still no hard and fast update. Clearly, the Steelers are respecting Aaron Rodgers' time. He had alluded in the past on Pat McAfee show that he had some issues in his inner circle that he wanted to work out. So the Steelers acknowledge that and are aware of those type of situations. So they have May 27th OTAs starting. They would love him there. That gives him 3 weeks to potentially sign there and work out. Now, if we're playing conspiracy theory, as some around the league do, I've checked with some teams who wonder, like, hey, is he waiting on the Minnesota Vikings here? Where he would play 9 dome games per season, would have Justin Jefferson, Kevin O'Connell, one of the best play callers in the league. But even checking on that, the Vikings have sort of moved on. They're all in on J.J. McCarthy, so that seems unlikely. It does feel right now like it's Pittsburgh or bust.
Okay, Pittsburgh or bust. Tim Hasselbeck, I ask you, do you expect Aaron Rodgers then to be a Pittsburgh Steelers here in the coming week?
I do. A lot of it is, what Jeremy just talked about in terms of is Aaron Rodgers, thinking about maybe a better situation. Week, that tells me Aaron Rodgers is thinking about playing football. Aaron Rodgers is also throwing in the offseason. Aaron Rodgers doing those things that, quite honestly, 40-year-old quarterbacks don't do unless they're planning on playing. So between that, the contact with the Steelers, the mutual interest, I think it ultimately ends up happening. I think it's one of the reasons the Steelers have approached the offseason the way that they have. And when you look at their current roster, as we kind of started this segment of who they have, they definitely are planning on going into the season with somebody else in the quarterback room, and that somebody else would be Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, so let's just pause right there because let's remove that from here. Okay, so I've said all along. And this shouldn't be a surprise because we've seen this before with Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't want to work. Why can't they're all pontificating on, he's trying to wait for the right time. First, a couple months ago, it was like, well, he wants to make a big announcement on the Pat McAfee show. And then it was like, oh, I want to wait till after the draft because I want to make sure they don't draft, a quarterback that might be my replacement. Now it's like, does he really want to play? I think he does, but it's Pittsburgh or bust. Dude, he doesn't want to work. That's it. Because when you sign, when you're a quarterback and you're coming to a new team, when the day you sign, it is fucking go time. You have to go to work immediately, and you got to get your ass out there and find that fucking dog. And Aaron Rodgers does not want to work that hard right now. So it's much easier just to sit back. Hey, man, we'll do some ayahuasca. It's no big deal. I'll be there when I be there. He is not going to fucking minicamp. Like he's the type of guy that's going to go to minicamp. Aaron Rodgers, this guy, the reason that he has the talent he has and won Super Bowl ring is because he lacks the work ethic of a Tom Brady. Tom Brady would have been there day one, like before day one, and working with everybody, showing his face at the facility. It's just two different mentalities, and I do think he will eventually sign. But like I've said all along, he's going to stretch it out as long as he can so he can work the least. And if it works out in Pittsburgh, and that's a whole nother story. I'll pull up Pittsburgh's. They were talking about kind of the mess that they're in if he happens to not sign, which I guess is a possibility. Anything's a possibility with Aaron Rodgers, but my God, if he doesn't sign, you're looking at, well, they just drafted rookie Will Howard from Ohio State, national championship. It was the 6th round though, 6th or 7th round, whatever it was. You're in trouble if he's your starter. And as of right now, Mason. How do you forget Mason Rudolph? Of course, Rudolph, the suck-nosed shitty quarterback. So yeah, boy, this is a bad quarterback room. Skylar Thompson's also in there. This ain't good. So he will come. It's just he's going to do it on his own time. So let's pod these people back up and see what else they have to say.
Steelers, of course. In other skill player news, just moments ago, Ravens running back Derrick Henry spoke to the media. Let's hear what he had to say.
Coming off the season I had, I wasn't really happy, and I wanted to prove myself and just get an opportunity, and they gave me that opportunity, and I'm very appreciative of how much they value me to give me an extension. I just want to show them how much it means to me, how much this organization means to me by the way I work and what I do on the field. We accomplished winning the division, got into the playoffs, but ultimately we came up short. So it's a lot of fuel that should go into this season. Guys should be motivated. I'm motivated, and I'm hungry to get ready for the next one.
I see that Prada shirt over there on one Derrick Henry because he just signed a 2-year, $30 million extension, so he can afford shirts like that. Jeremy, what do you think about how Baltimore is going to ultimately use Henry coming into this season?
Well, I'm told that the Baltimore Ravens fully expect Henry to resume his normal workload. They believe he has at least 2 years of prime performance left. That's why they signed him to this deal. He's now under contract for the next 3 years. So last year he averaged about 19 carries per game. I was told from somebody with the team that he could certainly hit or surpass that and have no problem doing so because of the way he keeps himself in shape and how hungry he is. The only thing that could affect that number is they really like Justice Hill, their backup running back. They also like Keaton Mitchell in the fold, Rasheen Ali. So they have a big backfield. They want to get involved. But Henry will remain the bell cow here, no question.
Which he should, right? Tim, what are your expectations for the Ravens offense this season?
I expect them to be awesome. And look, I think the Ravens are in dangerous territory. Investing in an older running back, it typically doesn't work. But every now and then a guy is different. And look, Adrian Peterson was different. I think people agree that Derrick Henry is different. And so I understand it from that perspective. But bigger than Derrick Henry signing is the fact that Lamar Jackson threw 41 touchdown passes last year.
Jeez.
Like Lamar Jackson, who people talked about as, well, he's got to develop as a passer. He's done it. He's developed as a passer, and the running hasn't gone away. I think that, look, he's put himself in a situation where, look, you can argue, is it Patrick Mahomes? Is it Josh Allen? Is it Lamar Jackson? Who's the best quarterback in the game? That's fine. You can argue that stuff. But the reality is Lamar Jackson's as good as anybody playing the quarterback position.
All right, shut up. Let me talk for a second. So yeah, let's switch to Baltimore since they brought it up. Holy shit, did you remember that Lamar Jackson threw 41 touchdowns last year? I didn't, and I watch football a lot. So yes, he's clearly, when he came in the league, he's clearly outplayed what a lot of people thought he would be. Outplayed my expectations. I can admit I'm wrong, and I'm glad to be wrong because my God, do we need more good quarterbacks in the NFL, going forward. So it's great. Now, looking at their roster, it's Baltimore. They do what they always do. We broke them down on the draft. They had like 11 or 12 draft picks added to the defense, added to the offense. The Achilles heel is still going to be a little bit of that offensive line. That there's some moving parts there in the middle. You got a Pro Bowl center, you got an All-Pro left tackle. The rest is kind of we're just putting stuff in. But luckily, you've got that beast in the backfield, Derrick Henry, they just talked about, and Lamar Jackson. So a lot of it's more the same with the receiving core, the tight end. It's just, and they added the defense. So it's, I've talked about it being with KC having a step back, that this is Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and Josh Allen. This is your chance to go get some rings, because KC, hopefully, unless you're a KC fan, hopefully this is the time that they take a step back and let some of these other elite quarterbacks get their ring, get their shot. So, wouldn't it be funny if KC does take the step back and, it's like a Justin Herbert and the Chargers, and they take that giant lead? Or, oh my God, what if a lot of people are on Denver right now? A lot of Denver's going crazy in the prediction market right now. That would suck for Burrow, Lamar, and Josh Allen if KC steps back and they let someone else step up in front of them. So hopefully for their sake that doesn't happen, and we get one of these three awesome quarterbacks a Super Bowl ring. But it's not going to be Joey B in Cincinnati, because that franchise is garbage, and they don't deserve Joey B. The fans deserve better. I'm not talking about fans when I say this. The franchise does not deserve Joey B. The fans do, and they deserve better, but that's a whole other story that we can get into later. All right, so let's see if they switch to another anything else on here, or just where they go from here
right now. And then the development that's happened, especially under Tom Bakken as their offensive coordinator, to build on that with the way he's elevated the play of the guys around him. I expect Baltimore to be really good on offense, and it's because of number 8 for the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, as long as he is under center and he is doing what he does with his feet and his arms, Baltimore and that offense is going to be dangerous. Tim and Jeremy, we appreciate you. Thank you. Let's go to the NFL owner meeting in Minneapolis tomorrow. There is talk about shifting playoff seeding from division winners to records, and our Mike Greenberg, well, he's fired up about it.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I have been arguing for this for 25 years. They're going to
make your case, Greeny,
on redoing how they do the seeding in the playoffs. I am 100% in favor of this idea. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I like anything that makes the regular season more important.
And this would do just that. NFL insider Jeremy Fowler and NFL analyst Tim Hasselbeck back with us now on SportsCenter. Jeremy, to you first. You'll be at the NFL owner meetings this week, actually as early as tomorrow in Minneapolis. Greeny obviously very fired up about the potential of playoff reseeding. What more can you tell us?
Yeah, Shay, I hate to disappoint Greeny, but from sources I've checked with today, it is considered a long shot for the playoff reseeding format to go through and eventually be changed. There are too many teams that value that division winner getting a high seed or a home game. But I've talked to enough executives around the league who do acknowledge a change needs to come eventually. Maybe this week's meetings will result in something down the road, but most likely it will be tabled at this point unless there's enough convincing to go around that this has to happen. But really the key here is that the change in the 18-game schedule that will probably inevitably happen in the league, whether that's 2028, 2030, whatever year that is, that will definitely spark more change for this. Teams I've talked to believe that it would have to create the lack of meaningless games late in the season. That's really been the issue, and why the Detroit Lions have voted for this proposal. They don't want a situation where, like last year, Minnesota went 14-3 and has to play on the road. So enough teams acknowledge that is an issue. Maybe they can create down the road a differential where you can, work it out where division winners are still rewarded. But they feel like the language in this proposal right now probably isn't enough to go through.
Okay, but it is inevitable that maybe the NFL moves to 18 games. If it is adopted, meaning they do reseed for the playoffs, Tim, I'm going to you here. How would that affect the NFL postseason in your mind?
Well, I mean, there's a couple of things like with this. I understand Greeny's point, but, in terms of, making every regular season game valuable, the divisions matter. Like, I was never on a team where when the coach, set out the goals for the season, he didn't say, number one is like, our goal is we're going to try to win the division. Because if you win the division, you give yourself a chance and you give yourself an opportunity to host a playoff game. I just don't think it's a good idea to lose that. One of the things that, I think you could argue college football has that pro football doesn't have is the passion of certain rivalries, and the meaning of that. Like, so when you,
look, I'm surprised this guy was even on a team. I mean, I remember watching him kind of play. He looks like a referee to me. I can't even believe that guy was an NFL player. So this topic's a little boring, to be honest with you. I don't really give a shit if they change it to just seeding by record. I guess that's fine. I do kind of like the setup of now, to where if you win a division and it's a shit division, I know that sucks because it's like, oh, these fucking shitty teams don't deserve to get in there. They certainly don't deserve to get a home game, but that kind of makes it, it is kind of cool that it's like just win your division and you can build your roster specifically towards your division, who you need to beat in that division. So I don't know. It's one of those things where if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't fix it kind of things for me. Just a reminder, look, if anybody's watching, you want to jump in on a chat, just comment in on wherever you're watching, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X. It does not matter. If you comment in, it'll come on my stream and we can pop you in if you want to talk a little football. So I really want to get Dave. I don't know if you see this tease down here. It says something about Bears trade Caleb Williams ? That's almost undoubtedly just clickbait bullshit. But I kind of wanted to get to that. Let me see if I can find a way to get out of this stupid, boring story and get to the next one. Let's see what we're doing here.
The owners get to Minneapolis this week. They're going to tweak this proposal, or the Packers will tweak it.
Oh, there's some different
language that's more broad around the league, where they can try to find a sweet spot, and that Philadelphia isn't the one being punished here. So this could look very different 2 days from now, but they have to get the ownership votes, and right now it would take some convincing because they were short 2 months ago.
What it does overall, though, and Tim and I have talked about this, is add a little bit more juice when the Eagles and the Packers play each other this upcoming season. Guys, thank you very much. Offensive threat, practice time adversary. Listen.
He's got a lot of juice. Like he can run all day. A lot of energy. I love it. Good energy. Always dapping guys up. Just bringing juice every day. And like I said, high motor, can just go. It's like a kid, just runs around all day. He doesn't get tired, it seems like. So
must be talking about Travis Hunter.
That. And then as far as just talent, I mean, kind of speaks for himself. Ball skills, run after the catch. He's very explosive. Just didn't realize how explosive he was in and out of cuts. He's impressive to watch.
He is impressive to watch, and Liam Cohen is going to be tasked with turning Trevor Lawrence into a winner. Lawrence has 38 losses in 4 seasons, tied for the third most by a starting quarterback to begin a career since 1950. On the bright side, though, for Lawrence, he's tied with Warren Moon, who went on to become a Hall of Famer. You on SportsCenter.
Which way is he going to go?
Year 2 with their quarterback of the future, Caleb Williams. However, Caleb didn't initially see his future in Chicago. Excerpts from a new book by ESPN's Seth Wickersham detail how Williams and his family considered several options to avoid going number 1 overall to the Bears. And once he got to Hallis Hall, Williams said none of the coaches helped him watch film. Chicago Bears reporter Courtney Cronin and NFL analyst Tim Hasselbeck join us now on SportsCenter. And Courtney, look, the dust has settled a bit since the news broke about the Wickersham book.
Courtney, can you hear me?
Walk us through how the situation has now played out in the Bears facility.
I don't think she can hear me.
Yes, Jay, I think the most pressing information that came out of Seth's book is what you just referenced, that Caleb said he did not know how to watch film because coaches weren't coaching him on how to do that. And there were breadcrumbs all throughout last season that showed you things were not really on the right track with Caleb Williams and his offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron. Like, I go back to week 3 after they lose to the Indianapolis Colts, and it was Williams and the members of the offensive captains, part of the leadership council, that went to Waldron and said, coach us harder. We want to be coached harder. We want to receive coaching that's going to make us better on the field. And that was something that was kind of an eyebrow raiser in Hallis Hall. But there was never really a moment where it looked like Shane Waldron's offense and what Caleb Williams was being asked to do ever really synced up for the two to have success. Well, you're seeing footage right now from what happened in the New England Patriots loss. This was one day before Shane.
Somebody plug her up. So that's pipe down, lady. Pipe down. Okay. So Caleb Williams, no one's more excited about Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears than me going into the season. I'm almost certainly going to be on there over the new coach, new offensive line, new weapons, a lot of new defensive players. The problem with Chicago is going to be a lot of new. And with that much new, it's going to, they're not going to start great because there's too much moving parts with new coaching staff and everything to just fire on all cylinders right at the bat. And I think by the second half, this team's going to be ready to rock. But it's all going to come down to Caleb Williams. And, he's a gay quarterback. It's the most – I don't think it's a secret anymore. I think everybody knows he's gay or certainly bi. He's certainly on the spectrum, and we don't talk politics anymore on FGH. We're strictly football. But he's on the spectrum, and not the autistic one, the other one, the rainbow spectrum. So if he is the first gayish quarterback to win a Super Bowl, or if he does win a Super Bowl, he's the first gayish quarterback to win a Super Bowl, and he certainly has talent to do it. But I just don't think like the hype is going. It's too fast. Like this rocket is like shooting straight up into the air. And there's going to be a learning curve, and I do love the coach, and I love the talent and the upside of the quarterback for sure. So that's the Chicago man. That Courtney, boy, she's had some late nights in Chicago for sure. She's done some work. I don't know what kind of work. She's done some work for sure. So. Let's see if there's anything else interesting that they're going to get into on this feed. That's Caleb. That's more Courtney just looking like fucking ragdoll. Yep. Let's go to – good Lord, they spent a lot of time on Courtney or on Caleb. Yeah, I guess that's it. Let's see if there's any other good videos. Is the MVP too high of expectations? Well, we don't want to hear the commercials. So let's let that play. Basically, this video is going to play about MVP for Dak Prescott and your Dallas Cowboys. Seems like high expectations. I don't know. Let's see what they say about it. Don't renew and sound. Play.
2 years ago. For context, Chase, let me throw you the oop before you dunk it. Dak Prescott, 2020, fractures his leg. Whole world watching, tears streaming down his face. He raised a fist. He comes back the next season with 37 touchdowns, just 10 interceptions. 2 years later, Dak Prescott, remember, he breaks a thumb. He only plays 12 games in that season. That's when Jerry Jones is suggesting, hey, I want a quarterback competition. He follows that year up in 2023 with an MVP caliber campaign, 38 touchdowns. I think it was like 8 interceptions. MVP second runner up. Tore his hamstring. Dak Prescott follows up injuries with phenomenal campaigns. The MVP expectation's too high.
No, I don't think so at all. When you are, and when you guys think still America's team, when you're the quarterback for America's team, right? Like those expectations are always there. The Dallas Cowboys' expectations are to win Super Bowls every year. And if you win Super Bowls, which they haven't done in a long time, in Dallas, your quarterback is going to be in the thick of the MVP race. So I don't think it's high expectations at all. It's what Dak signed up for. It's when he got paid $60 million a year, You're the highest paid dude in the league. And you showed us that you can play at an MVP type level. So I was a little surprised that Stephen Jones came out and said it. But it makes a lot of sense because if Dallas wins 12 games, right, wrong, and different, Dak Prescott is going to be the reason because of that. And he's going to be right in the thick of the MVP race, even if the numbers don't scream like they were. Look,
falls apart.
They went out and they got George Pickens, which I think is a true number one receiver. You pair him with CeeDee Lamb, Jaden Blue, the guy out of Texas, Tyler Booker to replace your Hall of Fame guard.
Oh, my God.
All the pieces are in place for a really good season. How is the defense going to play? It's going to come down to Dak. Like, we talk about this all the time with Lamar Jackson. He's won 2 MVPs. Okay, but what has he done in the playoffs? Nothing. 3 wins. Right.
All right. Let me pause him for a second. He just said all the pieces are in place. And he talked about Jadon Blue, a 5th-round running back out of Texas. So I don't know what he's smoking. All the pieces are in place if literally 8 question marks all turn into roses and they're all awesome. Like, that's not going to happen. So saying all the pieces are in place is just not right. Like, you have to have established quality players at all your question mark positions to say all the pieces are in place for Dak to have a MVP season. That's not the case. It's full of question marks on both sides of the ball, including the quarterback who can't stay healthy. So this, it's ESPN that they're doing clickbait, just fill the offseason with content. I get it, but I don't know. And I don't know who this guy is, but it's he's smoking something. So let's at least let him finish. We'll hear you out, I guess.
Right. Dak's 2-5 in the playoffs. MVP type level is great. And if those should be the expectations, but Dak Prescott and the Cowboys will never get over the hump until they win playoff games, multiple playoff games in a year, which I don't think Dak has done yet. He's definitely not got him to the NFC Championship game. So the expectation levels, that's what comes with the position of quarterback, any team, but especially America's team.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. The expectations aren't too high for Dak Prescott. Now, where I get confused, and I'll speak on my confusion very briefly, is this. Oftentimes, Dak Prescott Cowboys fans, they want grace for Dak because he never has an injury-free offseason. But then when he has an injury-free offseason, like, hey, but he balls off of injury, which one is it, right? It's hard to analyze an individual who you simultaneously want us to lend grace because he's hurt, but then you want us to give high expectations because of that same injury. That's the confusing and complex part. The best thing that could happen to Dak Prescott, though, is how low our expectations are for the Cowboys. James has said on this show, I respect James's opinions, he doesn't think the Giants are going to finish last in the division. No. He's saying without saying, then the Cowboys are going to finish last in the division. So if people in the world have the expectations that the Cowboys are going to finish last, and they mess around and finish second, which is a very realistic possibility, all of a sudden they did so because of Dak, like Chase just alluded to. George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson. It's hard to guard all 3 of them, y'all. If you want to double team George Pickens, Jake Ferguson's one-on-one on a linebacker. He will win. You want to play zone coverage? CeeDee Lamb has gotten so much better at finding the zone windows. He will win. So if you play man, you go to George Pickens one-on-one. You play zone, you go to CeeDee Lamb. You double team George Pickens, you go to Jake Ferguson. It is going to be hard to stop that offense. And in the regular season, Dak Prescott has always balled. MVP's a regular season award.
There it is there. Regular season award. Dak Prescott in the regular season, whether we like it or not, is an elite quarterback. He is an elite quarterback in the regular season. Dak Prescott is 76-46 in the regular season. Dak Prescott plays really, really well in the regular season. The MVP award is a regular season award. You have 2 of the baddest receivers in the National Football League on the same dang team with a really good young tight end. On top of you making $60 million, what are we supposed to sit here and say? We want our quarterback to be regular? No, go out here and play at an MVP level. You got an MVP vote your rookie year. You had an all-pro season a year ago. Go out here and play at an MVP level, because if you do not play at an MVP level, your team will be finishing last in the division, because Russell Wilson's going to play good football. We all know Jalen Hurts is going to play good football, and we know Jaden Daniels is going to play good football. So if you are the worst quarterback in that division and you do not play good football, your team is going to finish last. These are expectations that Dak Prescott can live up to in the regular season. I don't mind, as Coach saying, and I think it's the coach is basically saying it to him.
just can't happen. The Giants situation is such a dumpster fire. I just really don't see, and Dak always destroys the division. So I really don't see any way that they don't at least finish third. And yeah, there's a chance they could finish second. So again, it's a lot of those question marks that have to get worked out. So before I get out of here, if no one's going to jump on and shoot the shit with me, then let me talk about our sponsor, TexasTelehealth.com. Be sure and go to that website, and that way you don't have to go into the doctor's office. Who the fuck? This is 2025. If you don't have to go to the doctor's office and get your meds shipped to you after a consultation with Dr. West at TexasTelehealth.com, why the fuck wouldn't you? Of course you would. You have to, and they're one of our prize sponsors there. So it's scrolling on the bottom of the screen. Call Dr. West at TexasTelehealth.com and get anything that you need fixed. And he even does Ozempic for your fat asses out there. He's got Ozempic. He'll take care of you and get you worked up real nice. So let me see. Is there anything else I want to do before I get out of here? Just a reminder, look, I'm going to be doing these streams all the time. So jump in. If you see it pop up and football is not your thing, I get it. If football betting isn't your thing, I really get it. You know somebody who bets on football. I promise you. You know a lot of people who bet on football. So please share it with them. Tag them into the share, and help your people. Look, we're here to help people. When we're not selling a product, we're selling winning. So, and they're going to do it anyways, and they're not going to do it well. So you might as well help them out. We can be their football stockbrokers. We can help build their football 401k. Let them bet the right way instead of the losing way, and that's what we're here to do. So if it's not your thing, share it with somebody who it is. And if there's any small business owners, CEOs, whatever, entrepreneurs, whatever it is, you want to partner up with us at FGH. We've got the radio show on Fishbowl Radio Network every Saturday mornings, 10 to 11 a.m. That's on digital radio that goes out all over the world. So if you've got a product that you can sell, it goes all over the world. We've got our podcast on iTunes, iHeart, Spotify. We drop those out twice a week during the football season. We got the streams that we can put you on here. So we're doing a lot of things at FGH. We're really excited. We're a growing business, and we look forward to partnering with you. And again, we are one of one. We're the only live streaming football handicapping platform in the world. So nowhere else. You can have football handicappers, but you can't stream with them. You can't stream with them live. You can't come on and chat with them live in person, pop in and say, hey, why did you pick this game? That game sucked last week. I lost, blah, 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 blah. Or, hey, thanks for picking that game last week. That was a big winner for me. I parlayed a couple of your picks in and fucking cashed out. Nowhere in the world can you do that except right here with FGA. So wherever you are, whether it's on YouTube, X, what else we got? Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, no matter where you are watching, we appreciate you, and we will be back with you soon, whether it's me by myself, Bo Cephas by himself, or me and Bo Cephas together, wherever we are FGH.